The anime opens with a group of gang members approaching a girl named Shin. Just as the danger intensifies, a figure named Shiko notices the threat but realizes he doesn't have time to intervene properly. He vanishes quickly, avoiding a crash. In the library, Shin receives a warning call from Shiko, alerting her about the incoming danger. Her fear increases as the gang appears suddenly, and all the other students disappear, leaving her alone. In a panic, she tries to escape, finding herself trapped behind a locked door. As the gang tries to break in, Shiko appears once more, rescues her, and flees the building while dodging bullets. He places the unconscious Shin in a safe location and goes back to confront the gang. Using impressive strength and agility, Shiko engages in an intense aerial battle, eventually subduing the gang members. One of them attempts to hurl a residential building at him, but Shiko transforms the structure into a massive cube and launches it back, injuring his opponent. The fight ends near a special square of his, where he uses his power to trap the final gang member in water. Back in the library, Shin wakes up, seemingly from a dream. A fellow student named Yuan urges her to join him in studying. She leaves her watch on the table and goes with him. Later, at a tavern with friends, Shin is teased into revealing her crush. With hesitation, she confesses that she has liked Wang for a long time, ever since they were children. Meanwhile, Wang is elsewhere, enduring a brutal beating from a gang member who warns him to stay away from Shin, as their leader John desires her too. Wang is beaten and mocked for daring to love the same girl. John calls Shin using Wang's phone, forcing her to watch the assault. Wang, despite the pain, tries to shield Shin from involvement, but his resistance angers John further. Thrown into the water, Wang reflects on his past, remembering a rainy day when Shin offered him her kindness. That moment of connection, when she helped bandage a wound and shared an umbrella, becomes his inner strength. In the water, a glowing cube appears and enters his body. He's pulled into a corridor and transported into a massive cube structure. The voice inside speaks to him, telling him to focus on a location, which triggers teleportation. Wang is thrust into the sky, terrified by his new power. He reappears elsewhere, still overwhelmed, as the voice informs him that it's inside his body. In another encounter, he disappears again just as someone opens a door near him. At home, he receives a tearful call from Shin, who is relieved to hear from him and insists they go to the police. But Wang refuses, determined to resolve the conflict his own way. The cube reappears and tells him that a deep connection has been made. He has been chosen by a final universal system built by someone named Hala. The voice elaborates on the system's purpose and begins to teach Wang how to access its powers. Energy pulses through his body and he starts floating, exploring light-based vision and discovering how to see within a 15-meter radius using theoretical light. After exerting himself heavily, he passes out from exhaustion and wakes up at home. Though tired, he is intrigued by the cube and what it represents. The voice tells Wang that any stone contains energy, but special cube stones contain immense power. Wang begins his search, teleporting to an identified location. He uses his light ray vision to find a hidden stone, then returns to the cube and inserts it into an internal slot. The power surge enhances his abilities. The next day at school, Shin confronts him about turning off his phone. Their conversation is interrupted when John's gang barges into class and starts threatening students. John demands to see Wang, and Shin tries to protect him. Wang steps forward and confronts John, standing his ground even as John challenges him to a fight at the basketball court. At the court, Wang arrives and challenges John to fight alone instead of hiding behind his gang. John refuses and orders an attack. Wang skillfully avoids and counters the initial attacks, dodging punches and fighting back with precision. Shin tries calling him, but his phone is off. Exhausted yet determined, Wang defeats the first wave of attackers. When more gang members charge, he continues fighting despite taking heavy hits. Even when knocked down, he recovers, delivering powerful strikes that shock everyone watching. He eventually defeats the entire gang, leaving John in fear. Hyong, the leader of another gang, arrives and mocks John, then joins the fight. The voice warns Wang that his energy is critically low, so he retreats using stealth. He turns off the lights and surprises his enemies in the dark, knocking them out one by one. John tries to flee, but Wang stops him, demanding he change. Deciding to gain more power, Wang travels to a remote location to find additional stones. The voice senses strong energy near a lake. Inside a cave, Wang almost falls and loses his flashlight. While searching, he is ambushed by a massive snake. He narrowly escapes, using teleportation to avoid its attacks. After securing 11 stones, the voice tells him how they can be merged to create more potent stones. The process will take hours, but Wong accepts the challenge. He then meets Shin again and gives her a glowing green stone, saying it's meant to protect her. They enjoy a calm day together, playing a simple game where Shin hides candy in her hands. Wong guesses correctly each time using his enhanced senses, which astonishes her. Despite the playful moment, she becomes suspicious of his growing abilities. The next day, Shin doesn't show up. Concerned, Wong learns from the news that she's been kidnapped. At her house, he overhears her mother describing the incident to police. He sees Jun, confronts him, and uses his power to intimidate him into telling the truth. Jun admits that Lucia, a powerful and ruthless gang leader, is behind it. Lucia believes that Shin is connected to Shiko and is using her as bait. Jun explains that years ago, when Shin was in an accident, Shiko saved her. Since then, Lucia has held a deep grudge against him, vowing revenge. Wang demands to know Shin's location. The voice confirms it by tracking the green stone he gave her. Lucia, meanwhile, interrogates Shin, threatening her to reveal her connection to Shiko. She insists she doesn't know him, but Lucia believes otherwise. His assistant speculates that Shin may hold secrets valuable enough to help defeat Shiko. They gag her and decide to wait, hoping she will lead them to their target. Wong arrives at the building where Shin is held. Guards confront him, warning of a spiritual seal on the door that could destroy his body. He pushes through, fighting his way past the guards. He defeats one with clever use of a hidden hammer. The next opponent, a knife specialist, battles Wang fiercely, but Wong's agility allows him to overcome him too. Wong continues climbing until he faces Bulov, a towering figure who overpowers him. Bulov slams Wong around and breaks his arm, but just before losing consciousness, Wong's power fully awakens and his level increases. Now stronger than ever, he unleashes devastating blows, eventually defeating Bulov in a dramatic reversal. Meanwhile, Lucia grows angry, realizing that the fighters he hired are no match for Wang. His assistant suggests that their last hope lies in a deadly alliance known as Wu Dao, specifically a girl with immense power restrained by cuffs. If she were to break free, Lucia believes they must flee. Wang, fatigued yet driven by the desire to save Shin, continues his climb. The voice inside him urges caution, warning that he's dangerously overstimulated. Wang refuses to slow down. He knows time is running out and believes that no matter what happens, Shin must be saved, even if it costs him his life.